So, Walter, I know we talk offline a lot about podcasting and trends that are changing, and I wanted to ask you a question and get your insight on this.
Okay.
What do you think about Pat McAfee? And do you ever watch his show? Do you ever watch his content? I mean, are you a lover or a hater? Because it seems like people are
Yeah.
on one side or the other.
I find him engaging. I think he's definitely over the top, and I'm more of an even keeled kind of guy. So, there's a little bit of that he looks exhausting to hang out with. Like, as a friend, I would be exhausted to hang out with you. But the thing that I like about him is his craziness actually comes off to me as very genuine. Like he is just enthusiastic about life, and he also seems to not be afraid to say when he's wrong and be like, "Whoa, I messed that up. Like, I was totally wrong. Great job." So I don't know. To me, he actually has this like genuine craziness in kind of. Normally, I feel like I'd hate his personality, but I actually kind of like him. I don't mind watching some of his content and engaging it, and I think he's right about a lot of stuff, and he's interesting, and then he's a little crazy on some other things, but that's what you got to be in TV these days to stand out. So.
Well, and the reason why I wanted to ask you this question is because you're always very insightful, and I think you hit on a lot of different topics of Pat McAfee and what he is, what he isn't.
Yeah,
and just watching him, he doesn't need ESPN anymore. He has so many followers now. He doesn't need ESPN. ESPN needs him, and I find it very hilarious that College Game Day hasn't hired him back yet, even though they had him in Dublin. And to talk about that contrast, we saw him after he's drank 30 pints of Guinness, as he said, sitting next to Saban, who's very, even keeled, and to watch those different personalities back and forth.
Yeah.
But to see Pat McAfee's crazy passion for the college football season and how it's going to start and what it's going to be like, or we've all seen the clips of him doing, backflips and dives into the river in Knoxville. And I think it's a very interesting dynamic because not only evolving as a financial advisor in this industry, where if you're not evolving and embracing technology and the changes, you're going to get left behind. I see that happening right now on TV with I think Pat McAfee and what he's created.
Yeah.
I mean, he's on what, ESPN for 4 hours a day or something every day right now.
Chunks. Yeah.
And
I mean, he's just Lee Corso of doing the zany, put the mascot on your head and get the audience riled up. It's just a 21st century renewed energy, younger version of that. I mean, on high octane, but it's still all about playing to the crowd and giving the audience what they want. So he's nothing new under the sun in that regard. And he's just got this kind of level of confidence that lets him just go out there. And I think people feed off of that quite a bit.
Well, and I think there used to be, and even with podcasting, and you tell me if I'm wrong, like one of the things we've talked about over time is the more and more authentic you are on any video and just being yourself,
right?
That matters.
And I mean, even a couple of years ago, would you have thought of doing business stuff, wearing a ball cap,
Absolutely not. Yeah, just hanging out. I mean, whether I decided a long time ago that I wasn't the type of person that was going to wear a suit and tie. Like that just wasn't going to happen. And then, of course, if I'm having a really professional day, I'll put on a collared shirt.
Right.
But
that's quarter zip for you, Ryan.
but if you need an advisor that's going to wear a suit and tie, well, guess what? I'm not your guy.
Yeah.
But I think it's interesting, and I think COVID probably had something to do with this, where people are more comfortable meeting on Zoom now.
For sure.
But also the shift away from having to be professional all the time and being more like Pat McAfee and what it comes down to. I mean, look at how many followers and clicks he has. He has more of a presence and more of a following than, I mean, he's controlling that environment, and they've actually developed where you have a bunch of guys around talking about sports, and that's what everybody likes to do anyway. Right.
Yeah.
So I just think it's very interesting to watch that change in that dynamic, not only in the financial services industry, but to seeing it happening on ESPN and with college football as well.
Yeah, there's so much of it that's fake, and that's what turns me off. Like, I can't get into the people that are purposefully filming themselves reacting to something, like reacting to a sports event. And it's just, oh, they're going to have an over-the-top reaction just to be fake and outlandish.
The reels that are out there.
Yeah, that kind of stuff. I'm like, I don't have time for that. Pat, although I'm sure he's dialing it up a notch from what he is like probably off camera, he's got to at least be like 80% of that in his normal life. And so it just feels more genuine when he goes over the top and does those kinds of things. So I don't know. It's kind of like, I've met some broadcasters over the years in the sports realm, and you wonder, are they like that off camera and behind the scenes? Dick Vitale, one of them.
Dickie
And
B.
because he for years and years over the top on the basketball broadcast and those kinds of things. And when I met him in person, I was wondering, am I going to get this subdued version? Like, how crazy is it going to be? And he was just as, he wasn't screaming, but he was just as effervescent and, big smile, pound the fist, and just, he still had that same genuine energy, which is, I think, what's great about people like that, when they're not just being complete fakes on TV just to get the clicks. They know how to play the system a little bit, but it's still their genuine personality. And I don't know, that's what I get out of Pat McAfee specifically. So.
Well, and they're recording their show live now, so you get to hear the cuss words and the laughing. I mean, AJ Hawk smoking a cigar while they're filming
not a
every
ton of
day.
polish there, yeah,
and it's I just find it very, very interesting just to see the evolution of, and really the reason why I ask you, it's an industry that you're in, and you get to see all the different personalities of advisors even.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm sure you get to see quite a drastic difference on how people record their shows and how they're organized and what you guys even talk about.
There's button-up suits and all sorts of stuff. Yeah. So if you think I'm wearing pants right now and not a pair of shorts, you're crazy. So
well,
I fit well into the pilot's advisor, hat, t-shirt mode. So
yeah, my goal is to be like that. Who's that? I can't think of his name, but he's that one comedian that comes out and he starts his show by just taking his shirt off.
Oh gosh.
And he's got, he's definitely overweight, and that's the way he takes the pressure off himself and just engages the crowd. So I'm going to be that guy where I'm going to walk in and start the podcast and then just take my shirt off.
I was going to say, should we expect to see this next episode?
Not likely to happen, even though
YouTube's going to make us blur some things out, I think, in that case.
Oh, absolutely. Nobody wants to see that.
Awesome. All right. Fun stuff, man. We'll talk to you next time.